Quest of finding neutral all the time. It's so weird. I've never felt a bike that had so much trouble finding neutrals, right? Except for these generations. Good day, everybody. Welcome to a new upload of Dyer Rides, formerly known as It's a Dyer Thing. Before we go any further, do comment down below to see if what name do you prefer for this channel, as It's a Dyer Thing, number 1, or number 2, Dyer Rides. Anyways, either or, they're both the same channel. And yeah, oh, here we go, my turn. Today's adventure, today's awesome upload edit. I'm moving over right. I'm gonna let you go up front just as we got to go down here on Leslie, and then we're gonna go right on Shepherd. Oh no, let's go straight through onto Shepherd actually, and then right after Shepherd, where that bridge is, we're gonna go past Shepherd, right? So for quite some time, once we pass Shepherd, we're gonna go underneath that bridge and we're gonna turn right. It's gonna take us through the back section of Ikea. Why are we going to Ikea? Well, because Mr. Sage here, Mr. MT09, the one and only, loves Ikea hot dogs. As Sage was saying, unfortunately you guys can't hear him, but he's talking back to me because we're speaking on our headsets here. At $3.50 for 3 hot dogs, do you not get a pop for that price? So $3.50, you get 2 hot dogs and a pop for $3.50. You really can't go wrong. So what better way to get out there, have some hot dogs while riding and enjoying the beautiful MT09. So that's what this one is all about. It's the 2023 Sage and his MT09. Yeah, prime hot dog spot. Woo woo. We just stole somebody else's spot. You bugger, you stupid biker guys, you taking my spot. Alright, let's go grab some hot doggies, and then we'll get back. You're eating there? Alright, so we'll eat there, and then we'll go over and find a spot where we can kind of get a little bit more in-depth details as to what you think and how you're enjoying the 2023 MT09. Though I know deep down inside you want this beast.
I can throw out my GoFundMe link for my R1.
Sage said he's gonna throw out his GoFundMe link for the R1. So anyways, alright, let's get in, get that, and come back out. None of it's real. It's Ikea, man.
I've never had that amount of snap.
That amount of snap in your hot dog?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I tell you, I wouldn't mind them if they weren't so cold, right? They're freaking cold. That's what's disgusting. So, all right. As you enjoy the burps of the hot dog in your helmet. Yeah, we'll continue with the Senna 20 up to there, and then from work home we'll try the 30 and see if there's any different. So Sage and I have been kind of running here through scenarios where when we're connected on our headsets, we're trying to figure out if it's the mic, if it's the plugins, if it's the unit, or if it's the base assembly of Senna equipment. We're getting a lot of static, a lot of popcorn, which is very annoying, considering now I'm running a brand new, and I thought it was always mine, but I'm running a brand new 50S Senna. Then I swapped Sage's old 20S to my old 30K, and then we continue to still have a bit of a static and horrible noise. But I don't even think am I connected to you right now? No. Oh, you are. Oh, okay. I was gonna say, because I hear a pop 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 every once in a while, and I'm like, and I didn't realize that you were actually on. So, all right. So anyways, yeah, so we've been kind of messing around with that, but anyways, that's another story for a different day. All right, let's get off to work and talk about your bike. I am here now with Mr. Sage, and we're going to talk about this little beauty here, and where the best to do it is, well, yeah, in front of Yamaha Motor Canada's office. How cool is that, right? So here, we're going to just sit down, we're going to chill out, take 2 minutes because the rain is definitely coming here, but we're going to give a little speak on here. Come sit here. Over here. Come sit here, my man, my one and only awesome son. So Mr. Sage, as you guys have been following along our channel here, he's been riding with us for quite some time now, and I think you can probably agree with me that ever since I got my first FZ09 is what you said that you've always been very interested in obtaining yourself.
Well,
You always tried to steal the keys, right? So
yeah, I always liked the sound, right? It's the sound that won me over for the MT09.
on the first MT09, when I got it, you just absolutely loved that CP3 engine, right? So moving forward, so that was back in 2017. That was my first red one that I had, and then we had from the red one we went to the black one. Was it the black one? And then the blue one,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
No, red. You had a white one, didn't you?
No, I had another
Two
blue
blues.
ones.
You
Yeah, I had a
red,
the 2016
blue.
was a blue, 2017 red.
Red, light blue. You went black, and then back to blue.
And back to blue. That was in 2019, and then kind of went away from that and went into the other stuff. And Sage has always been asking about the MT09, so I think ever since then is pretty much where you kind of saved your monies and always said that he was going to buy an MT09. So skipping forward a couple of years, we are now in 2023, and Sage is much older here, and we are in the Toronto region, so we're going to talk about that as well. He is now put all his monies together and actually paid off, bought cash, the 2023 MT-09. Now, from our young rider's perspective, this is your first official owned motorcycle, but give us a bit of history as to what kind of bikes you have been riding ever since I've been working at Yamaha, and you've been licensed to ride.
Licensed to ride. I think, what did we start off? We started off with the WR 250X.
Yep.
That's, yeah, from the very beginning. That was the first bike I was on at 16 with my license. And then it went to the XT, I think.
XT250.
Which was the XT. Which then back then you had your 9. So you let me play around on that once or twice.
We did a bit of training on it in car parks, right? Yeah.
And then from there we went to, I think, the DR, right?
The DR650. But you did, now with the perks of working here at Yamaha, we are eligible to borrow the product, right? To use them on the weekends. So from that, what are the bikes that you've used so far?
Borrowed?
Yeah.
I took an MT-07, FZ-07, MT-07. What else? Other than XT, XT250, TW, nothing crazy really other than...
And the R3. R3s.
MT-03, MT-07.
So yeah. Now that you actually own your own bike, then okay, how about the first ride itself? How did you experience? What went through your mind? Like, what were your thoughts? What were the concept of it, behind it? Like, could you believe it or what?
Well, I could believe it, right? Because it's not like it's the first time being on a bike like that, right? I've been on the 10 and all that stuff. Yeah. But with the 9, having it for yourself, yours, right? That's exactly. Having it for your own and being able to wake up every day and get on it is a nice thing to me. Yep. I don't know. I'm trying to think.
Okay, if you have to pick one thing, what is the most favorite feature? Now, 2023 has, from 2021, to 2023, there's been a lot of revisions in regards to the MT09 compared to the previous ones. Now, you've tried some of the other ones, but again, you haven't really been on the road. Is there something that stands out from 21 to 23 model that you absolutely enjoy, that you couldn't see the bike being without it?
Stock quick shifter.
The stock quick shifter. So the previous one still had a quick shift, but this one now does come with an up and a down, and it's a factory enabled quick shifter. So
yeah,
you like that?
Oh, it's different, right? It eliminates the use of the clutch pretty much, other than first gear. So
I remember, for me, it felt like I was riding a Formula One. Do you get that? Do you get that same concept feeling?
It's even more with the sound of the bike, right? It sounds like one of the older Formula One cars. So it really does make it seem like an F1 car.
The first generations that ever came out, the first thing we would want to do was always swap out the exhaust. Now, this one here for 21 to 23 has a dual exhaust port exit. What do you think about that?
Well, see,
now you're a young kid and you're a bit of a hoonigan.
I want loud.
You all like loud exhaust, but riding this one, what do you think?
I want loud. Like, so if I were to ride by you or ride by somebody on this or were to ride by you, you pretty much wouldn't hear it, right?
Yeah.
It's not very loud at all. From standing outside the being on it, from not being on it, it's not loud at all. Like, you can hear it, but it's not that distinct MT-09 sound that you hear when you put an exhaust on it.
But as a rider?
As a rider, with the dual port on the exhaust there, it's like surround sound, right? It's like surround sound, and it's quite loud for a stock exhaust, but it's not drony and it's not an annoying loud. It's a good loud. Like, yeah, I enjoy it. I think it doesn't need anything more than a stock exhaust.
What about the rider aids? Do you think that they actually really work as a new rider? Now, mind you, you've ridden the MT-07 quite often, and you got a lot of miles on the MT-07. Now, the MT-07 doesn't come with any safety feature, nothing, whereas the MT-09 gives you a lot more control as to what you can do. For a new rider yourself, right? Now, you have some experience, but I'm just saying, if somebody came up to you, a young person, and said, like, I'm interested in these two bikes, what would you sell them on and why?
I'd sell them on the MT-09. Simply because of safety features behind it, lift.
But it has a lot more power.
It has a lot more power, but it's got lift control. You can slam the throttle, nothing will happen. It will lift a little bit, but it cuts the power off. The MT-07, there's many times I've taken it out onto the street, and it's been a little bit of sand there, or even a little bit of water, and that just, it's squally, it slides, it doesn't feel planted, even in the rain. Like this thing, when I took it in the rain, because I got caught in the rain, coming home from work.
He got caught in a serious downpour.
Yeah. It still feels solid. Like the MT-07, you're kind of always, because even the bike riding, it kind of feels like it has a wobble a little bit. It's very light, right?
Anytime we're taking off from a light, when he was on the MT-07, the front wheel was up in the air.
Okay, yeah.
It was.
Yeah. But the MT-07, both are good bikes. I like them both. Controllable. Anybody can get on it. Just don't be stupid, right? Just don't be stupid.
You can hurt yourself on even the smallest of basic of bikes, right? But I think Sage has said it pretty well, that the MT-09 does come factory equipped with a lot of safety features, and I've always emphasized that on my previous videos as well, that it's a pretty good system. So, but other than that, is there anything else that kind of like your pros and cons on the MT-09?
Oh, I got a lot of cons.
You got a lot of cons. Okay, here.
Not a lot of cons.
I need you to hold this and come up with me so as we can look at it. So let's start. Okay, from the front. We'll start from the front and work our way back. So a couple of things that we've done already on this bike here. So as you may notice, we have added a couple of accessories. So if you can kind of run through me and explain what we've got here so far. We got
What is
windshield.
That, OEM or is that
No, that's an aftermarket windshield, right? So we got this from AliExpress. The price was $29, $30, right? And it definitely complements the whole bike, the actual front. It makes it really, really, really clean, right?
Well, because it just hides that gap between the dash and the light.
I found that, this whole front section was kind of missing something. So when you put the any kind of shield on, whether if you're going accessory or not, I think it definitely fills it up. Now, in regards to riding, do you feel any difference? Because you did quite a few kilometers without it, and now you've done some kilometers with it. Do you feel any difference?
Where I'm on the bike is I'm very short, right? So I really don't get a lot of wind. On any bike I've been on, I don't get a lot of wind. It's mostly just hits my helmet up there.
But it doesn't deflect? Don't you find it deflects a little bit better?
I have no wind here up until like very high chest where my shoulder blades are, and then
You can
up
see
to my
that
head.
you sit quite low to the actual bike
I
itself,
would sit
right?
low,
So,
yeah.
and then we've got
Sorry.
the FX CNC levers
Yeah,
that we did. Those were also a $30 set of levers compared to the stock ones. They're fairly nice. What else you got? This?
Yeah, heated grips from Yamaha.
So these are the genuine heated grips from Yamaha. Now, mind you, the ECU and the controlling of this for the heated grips comes factory from Yamaha for 2021 all the way up to 2023. Do kind of explain a little bit about that. What do you think?
Well, I like heated grips. I never had them except for when I used to steal your MT-10 or your 10 and every time I did, I had them on. But we were riding on a 32-degree day.
Yeah.
And I had them on heat mode 3, so it's got 1 to 10 modes on the heat function, the setting for heat level. And putting it on number 3, you kind of have to keep your hands on it, but like take your hands off a little bit.
And the grip itself, like they're not overly sized. They're fairly a nice physical size, right? So they feel comfortable.
In my opinion, they're nicer than the factory grip on the bar because they're smoother, right? The factory one, you have more of these grooves that are bulged out, and this one it kind of sits more flush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was a very simple install, right? So basically, as you follow the wires down, it comes with all the included hardware, and basically it just comes into the front. You remove the actual windshield there, and there's the physical plug and play portion is just behind there. Once you plug it in, the computer recognizes it, and then it allows you to then go into the settings. Again, Sage said you went up to 1.
I put it up to 5 at max. It's got 10.
So
and
from 0% to 100%, right?
Yeah.
So you can adjust.
At 50% burns.
Yeah,
your hands.
mine, it's the similar grips, but I have only 3 settings. In my 3 settings, and I can adjust it into the percentage of what I want. And other than having a very broken a very broken phone, he is running the quad lock assembly. So this is the genuine quad lock. We don't really need to get too much into details on that. There's enough videos out there. Other than that, what else have you done? You've got
just the engine guards. That's it.
So that's pretty much it, right? So we got the actual lower casing crankcase guard protector plates there on both sides. That was a fairly nice install. We did install we started here with the rear rack assembly. We only got the upper piece right now. We're still waiting for the top plate as we're about to go embark a nice Pennsylvania trip. So that's going to be a 1,000-kilometer trip overnighter. So it allows him to put a rear rack and carry some luggage. But other than that, you're absolutely loving the bike.
You want pros and cons though?
Yeah, give us
pros,
a couple.
I've gone over my pros, everything I like on it, really.
Yeah.
Pretty much, grips, all that stuff. Nothing really too much other than it's a good bike. Cons, the shifter, man. Oh man, I hate that shifter.
The shifter. All right.
Yeah.
So give us explain.
Neutral. It's a pain to find on this thing. DR, no problem. Any other bike, no problem. Even a Kawasaki, a little bit better. Kawasaki's hard to get into neutral, but this thing.
So are you saying that you're having trouble finding neutral when you're stopped, or you're shifting automatically into neutral, or what's going on?
So, well, I've hit a couple false neutrals recently, actually. Might be rider error, not pressing the shifter up enough. But
and even with your clutch in?
Even with the guy, because I've pulled the clutch in now, I don't like to quick shift it all the time. But I pull the clutch in, and even when you quick shift it, it does sometimes get stuck in neutral. But the worst is trying to find neutral when you're stopped.
So it
trying
goes
to park
between
it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2
Well,
all
it's
the
like
time.
you feel it. When you turn it on and you were to click into first, you can feel it almost like it's delayed as it's going into second, like it sticks and then engages into second.
Now, mind you, how many kilometers you got on this bike now so far?
1,000.
1,000 kilometers.
Yeah.
So it might still be a bit of the break-in procedure. Now, I do know that a lot of the tolerances have gotten tighter so that people don't get false neutrals when they're shifting from 1 to 2 with a quick shift. But that might be something that needs to be revised, because I have heard a couple of customer feedback in regards to how hard it is to find the neutral. Anything else?
It takes 20 seconds more to find neutral. It's not that big of a deal, really.
But it can be a pain.
Yeah, I mean, if you're paying for the bike and you're paying the price that a bike like this costs, you would hope that it would be a little finish would be a little bit nicer. But other than that, I have no complaints with it.
No.
No, not at all.
A lot of people complain about the scrolling wheel. Do you use it quite often? Have you have any issues?
It depends on the way you position your thumb on. I see when I started doing it, when I first, I'm sure the complaints are, it's skipping.
They try to scroll and then they go to press, right? And they couldn't get
and they
control.
skip past the control because they're pressing. But the problem is they're pressing up into the direction of a scroll. You just got to press flat.
Okay, got to be
press
more
it flat.
controlled, right?
Yeah.
So other than that, you're pretty cool.
I'm happy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm happy with it. Very happy.
Insurance, as a young man here in the Toronto region. Now, we'll be completely upfront and honest here. You're 20. You're going to be 21.
Yep.
You've had a license now since 2019, so you've been riding for 5 years.
Yep.
No incidents, no issues, no problems whatsoever. You only have a full motorcycle license, however.
Yep.
And you are paying
$39.80 a year.
So almost $4,000 a year. Now that's fully coverage as well, right? On an MT09 for a 20-year-old, I think isn't too bad that you're building a profile. But yeah, it's an expensive sport to start off with.
You know what? It's worth it. You could do it while you're young, right?
Yep.
So
he ain't paying rent either.
No, exactly. I can afford it right now, so might as well.
Any last comments or any last information that you want to add?
MT10 next year.
MT10 next year.
Just for the sound bike.
All right.
It's a perfect bike. Enjoy it.
Cool.
I like it. I'm happy.
Let's go ride.
Yep.
Before the rain hits us. So there you have it, man. I mean, again, if you have any questions, any suggestions, any comments, do hit us down below. But other than that, I mean, we couldn't be any more happier than both with the MT09 and the MT10 here from the Dyer crew here. So again, y'all be safe. You have fun. Take care. And we'll see you soon. Pennsylvania, here we come.